What's up, guys? As you can see, we are in the truck. We're rolling down I-10 headed into Mobile with an empty trailer. Since Mobile seems to be where I collect most of my junk from these days, we're gonna go get something. This time it's not anything really super exciting, but it'll save us costs in the long run. So we're headed into town. We'll see what we're picking up. I'll show you guys what we're getting and why we're getting it once it's on the trailer. What the fog? Well, we got here a little early. But he did message. I'm not just like chilling in the dark, waiting and hoping he hears me. Seller responded at the other end of the store. Didn't expect me to be my normal 20 minutes early, so we're just chilling and waiting. We'll get it loaded here in a second. And I'll probably stop at a gas station or something because I'm thirsty and show you what we're picking up. Well, unfortunately, the trailer is still empty, which means it didn't happen today. Long story short, poor old dude thought he knew where all his paperwork was, and he couldn't find it. So it doesn't mean we're not getting it. It means we're not getting it today. I'm getting it because it's a clean title S10, and he couldn't find the title. So he's going to apply for a lost title, and we'll come back when he gets it here in a couple weeks. But what it is we got an extended cab S10, clean, no rust, which for a big guy like me is more comfortable. And so what we're going to do is probably some finagling with drivetrains, and I'm not sure what we're going to do with it yet. Originally I was going to transfer everything from the gold truck to it, but now I might make it its own truck because I got a couple weeks to figure it out, and I'm about to start putting effort and money into the gold truck again. So we will see what happens here soon. But in the meantime, I'm going to drive home with this empty trailer, and I'll show you some of the ins and outs on the gold truck that I really want to change, and why I originally was going to get this S10. So we're home. Trailer's empty, which is sad, but we'll get it. They're going to reach out when they got the title. But let me show you some stuff that we got going on with the gold truck and why we're looking for another donor truck, not just with a clean title. So the guy that put this transmission in got way too excited with the sledgehammer. Now I can fix this. Just takes some time and effort. There's a little bit of rust starting there. I can fix that too. But they got way carried away over here, and they made some relief cuts with, I don't know, a cutoff wheel or something, and I'm gonna have to fix that. Door panels are off. Dash has been stripped down to bare, which is good for when I go put a cage in it. It'll speed that process up, but still, there's just a lot of missing components on this truck that cost a bunch of money to get back. Another big thing is the front suspension is wore slap out. That truck that I'm getting has all good factory stuff, which this truck's still currently running factory front suspension. So I can swap that over for cheap by getting that truck. And the last thing, last two things, I can get this one. It rained. This bed's cut out. Like completely cut out. The bed sides aren't even attached anymore. They're just kind of there for decoration. The bed is attached front and back. And then we'll look underneath. Homemade slapper bars, which isn't the end of the world. I've run them before. They work. But the biggest thing here is those obnoxious blocks that have been welded to the axle housing. I just don't like them, and I'm going to change them. So that truck has a good rear end in it. So those are some of the things that we're looking to fix. Yes, I am still running the factory S10 10 bolt. No, it's not the same as, let's say, the 10 bolt in that Camaro, which I'm also running in the Camaro. 10 bolts can be built strong. You don't have to swap everything to a 9-inch. Now, the 8.5-inch ring gear is obviously stronger than the 7.6-inch ring gear in the S10. And the Achilles heel for any 10 bolt is the C-clips. The Camaro, having the bigger 10 bolt rear end, C-clip eliminators, axle shaft, new carrier with a spool or a posi, whichever one you want to run, gets that rear end pretty well set up. You add a preload diff cover and you're looking super good. What I mean by super good is there's some fast dudes still running 10 bolts. Now I will concede the fact that a lot of them are turbo cars, so they leave softer on the line and they pour the coals to it on the way down the track, which the Camaro is going to go turbo. So what I'm going to do with the S10 is a little bit of an experiment. We're going to learn together. I'm a big try to do it for less guy. I don't make enough money to consider myself rich, which honestly, if you're in this sport, you should have expendable income. I don't have as much expendable income as the next guy, so I expend the amount of income that I can learn to live without. That's what I go racing with. So in an effort to try to teach all of you on here that are watching and learning while we go, I'm going to see how far we can push a 7.625 GM 10 bolt rear end. Now I am going to be getting axle shaft, C-clips eliminators, higher spline count, all that good stuff. And we're going to run a rear gear that's friendly on parts. Now that makes the car less friendly on the street, but it's a race truck, so who cares? Now the 10 bolt in the Camaro, it's much less of an experiment. We already know what works with those for higher horsepower, but we're going to apply what we know on the big 10 bolt to the little 10 bolt, depending on parts ability, and see how far we can get. And selfishly, I would really like the opportunity to talk a little crap to some of these 530 gangster guys who are spending $5,000 on a rear end. And I'd like to run with them and with what came in with the S10. And will I be able to? I don't know. History says no, I won't. But if I can get low sixes, high fives out of the truck, I'm going to call that a win. I know the motor we're freshening up to go in there for next season will get us there. As far as power, it's how we apply it to the rear end. And of course, when I run out of S10 rear ends, we're going to bite the bullet and I'll probably go 9-inch. I've got 9 inches in everything that breaks a rear end. So that's what we're planning on. That's why we're picking up this S10. It's got all the interior parts. It's got a clean title. It's got a fresh rear end. It's got front suspension components. It was just going to be a good buy. Now that S10 has no front clip, which doesn't matter. I don't need it. The Gold truck is actually a good looking truck. We just need to get some stuff figured out, transfer parts back and forth between the two chassis, and end up with one good race truck ready to rock. So that's what we're doing with that. Sorry the video, I couldn't show you guys what we picked up because we didn't end up picking up anything, but the S10 is happening. They're going to apply for lost title. When it comes we will go get it. But today we we came home empty-handed, but we did potentially find something else, like always. He's going to send pictures later, but he has a 2-wheel drive version of this that's a little bit older, and everybody that knows me knows I love my OBSs, I love my S10s, and I love my old cars. So he's kind of speaking to my heart on that one. We'll see what happens. He's saying a couple $100, come get it. It's got a clean title but doesn't run. I might go snag it depending on the condition, put it there, bring it home, and add it to that lineup over there. But that's going to do it for today. I've got a lawnmower to repair, and it's probably hard to tell in here, but I got grass to cut. So that's what I'm doing the rest of the day. Sun's out, the rain's finally gone. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this mower, do some grocery shopping, spend the rest of my day jamming out and cutting grass. So hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Going to next week, ready to kick some ass. Sorry we haven't had any racing content for the last couple weeks, but it is the wet season down here. It's just hit or miss, unfortunately. So we're going to get back to work. Going to load the S10 on the trailer to bring it to work. Fix a few things this week. And then we're going to get back after it. So hope to see y'all soon. And y'all be safe. Have